Hello students, how are you all? So let's start with today's biology class. So in the previous class we have started with transcription process and we were discussing about transcription in eukaryotes specifically, because in that video I have not mentioned that thing. Actually the process that we were discussing was in eukaryotes, okay? And the full process we have discussed, that how the RNA is being synthesized and by the process of initiation, elongation and termination, okay? After that, when the transcription is completed, the RNA that we get is not the proper functional RNA. As we know, there are three types of RNAs, mRNA, tRNA and rRNAs, which are required by the cell. But जो RNA form होता है ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के बाद, that is in a complete, it has a it is just a chain like structure. जैसे पॉलीन्यूक्लियोटाइड चेन होते हैं डीएनए में, वैसे आरएनए एक राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड चेन की फॉर्म में होता है. उसके अंदर अभी उसके अंदर टीआरएनए, एमआरएनए एंड आरआरएनएस, दे आर नॉट सेपरेटेड, ओके? बट वी कैनॉट, द सेल कैन नॉट यूज दैट आरएनए डायरेक्टली, सो दैट आरएनए हैज़ टू बी प्रोसेस्ड so that it can be converted into its three types, okay? So which this process will be called as post transcriptional processing, because transcription to it is up to the formation of RNA transcript or RNA primary transcript. After that there will be some post transcriptional processing takes place that will bring about the change in the primary transcript to form the different types of RNAs, okay? So first, what is an hnRNA? When we have discussed about the types of RNA, उस टाइम मैंने आपको बताया था कि कुछ और टाइप्स भी होते हैं RNA के, लेकिन they are not included in the translation process. जो हम इसके बाद translation process पढ़ेंगे, in that only three types, that is rRNA, tRNA and mRNA are involved. That is why the main three types of RNA are that one only. लेकिन there are some other the RNA types. Depending upon the situation, means they will be not there in the cell all the time, okay? So for example, we have hnRNA, which is called heterogeneous nuclear RNA or heteronuclear RNA, ठीक है? Now what is this hnRNA? So after the transcription is completed, the primary transcript which is synthesized is actually called hnRNA. तो जब हमने ट्रांसक्रिप्शन प्रोसेस पढ़ा था उस टाइम आपने देखा था कि जो RNA है वो एक चेन लाइक स्ट्रक्चर में फॉर्म हो गया था. एलोंगेशन और टर्मिनेशन स्टेप जब कंप्लीट हो जाता है उसमें भी मैंने आपको बताया था कि जो नेसेंट आरएनए होता है या जो फ्रेशली प्रिपेयर्ड आरएनए होता है ट्रांसक्रिप्शन के बाद, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट, या फिर क्या बोलते हैं? एचएनआरएनए. तो प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट या एचएनआरएनए बोथ आर सेम थिंग, ओके? बट दैट प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट इज मच मोर लोंगर देन द बेसिक थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ RNAs, ठीक है? तो वो जो एक प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट है उसके अंदर क्या होगा? तीनों टाइप के RNAs होंगे, लेकिन उसकी मॉडिफिकेशन होके वो सिंथेसाइज होंगे. जैसे आप प्रोटीन्स के बारे में भी हम पढ़ेंगे ना, तो प्रोटीन जो होते हैं बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर उनका क्या होता है? दे हैव पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन इन देम, but that polypeptide chain will undergo some modifications to synthesize different types of proteins, okay? So here you will find that the RNA will be synthesized in a chain like structure which is called primary transcript or hnRNA, and that will undergo some modifications to synthesize the three types of RNAs. These modifications are called post transcriptional processing, okay? और जो प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट होता है वो लॉन्ग साइज का होता है, उसमें से हम कुछ कटिंग्स करते हैं, वेस्ट को बाहर निकाल देते हैं, एंड देन वी मेक इट थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शनल RNAs. So post transcriptional processing will include four processes. One is cleavage, splicing, terminal additions and nucleotide modifications. So cleavage, splicing, terminal additions and nucleotide modifications. Now you are not clear with these terms. When we will study one by one, then you will find how this will help to modify the primary transcript of RNA. So first we will start with cleavage. So the first process in post transcriptional processing is cleavage. As we know, when the RNA is synthesized, and this will take place to synthesize the different types of rRNAs, okay? So you know, when after transcription happens, like the primary transcript will be here. So this is the rRNA primary transcript, ठीक है. And we have already studied about the different types of rRNAs depending upon the type, like if they are present in the larger subunit or smaller subunit. On the basis of their sedimentation unit, there are different types of rRNAs. I have already told you about this. And if this is the primary transcript, it is very long, okay, and all the types of rRNAs are present in this primary transcript, but they have to be cleaved, okay. उनको क्या करना पड़ता है, जैसे अगर ये पूरा एक बड़ा स्ट्रैंड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है और हमें इसके छोटे छोटे पीसेस चाहिए, then we have to break it, we have to cleave it, okay. That is why it is formed by cleavage. So basically rRNAs जो हैं different types के, they are synthesized by cleavage of the primary transcript. So here is the primary transcript of rRNA. It was 45S, which is a quite longer than the normal size of rRNAs. जो हमने different types के rRNAs study किए हैं, you have to cram that thing कि कौन कौन से rRNAs होते हैं और उनके बेसिस जो है सेडिमेंटेशन यूनिट के बेस पे हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ rRNAs आर देयर डिपेंडिंग अपॉन आइदर दे आर प्रेजेंट इन यूकैरियोट्स और प्रोकैरियोट्स. वो सब हमने टाइप्स ऑफ RNA में पहले स्टडी कर लिया है, ठीक है. सो इट वाज ऑफ 45S टाइप. तो जब आप उसमें देखेंगे तो rRNA कोई भी इतना बड़ा rRNA नहीं है. सो इट हैज़ टू बी क्लीव्ड. सो इट विल अंडरगो क्लीवेज. इट विल बी फर्स्ट कन्वर्टेड इनटू 41S टाइप. दे विल फर्दर अंडरगो स्मॉल क्लीवेज to form 32S type, 28S type and 5.8S type, then 20S type and 18S type, okay. So there will be the different, these will be the different transcripts, the rRNAs which will be synthesized. So 32, 28, 5.8, they all are the different types of rRNAs. 20S, 18S, now they will be cleaved according to the type of organism, either they are prokaryotes or eukaryotes, ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद ये अपने जो प्रोटीन्स हैं उनके साथ कॉइल करके they will synthesize ribosomes, okay. And the important point is that the cleavage takes place with the help of enzyme ribonuclease P, okay. This will happen with the enzyme ribonuclease P. So this enzyme will act like a you can say cutter. जैसे एक बड़ा सा थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है और उसे हमें कटर से कट करना है छोटे छोटे पीसीज में, तो दैट विल बी डन बाय राइबोन्यूक्लियेज P एंजाइम, ओके. सो दिस इज द क्लीवेज प्रोसेस. So the next process in post transcriptional processing is splicing and terminal additions we will together see, because splicing is basically to synthesize functional mRNA. As you know, we have to synthesize 3 types of RNAs, functional RNAs, rRNAs. वो हम पहले क्लीवेज में पढ़ चुके हैं कि functional रRNAs कैसे फॉर्म होते हैं by cleavage process. फंक्शनल mRNA कैसे फॉर्म होगा बाय स्प्लाइसिंग एंड टर्मिनल एडिशंस, और फंक्शनल tRNA कैसे फॉर्म होगा न्यूक्लियोटाइड मॉडिफिकेशन, ठीक है. So splicing is actually what? Removal of introns and fusion of exons to form functional RNAs. Now what are these introns and exons? So when you will see the DNA, as you know, most of the portion of the DNA is non-functional. तो DNA बहुत बड़ा साइज में होता है, उसका only 1 to 2% पोर्शन जो होता है दैट इज़ फंक्शनल, मीन्स दे हैव स्ट्रक्चरल जीन्स और फंक्शनल जीन्स, और बाकी का जो पोर्शन है डीएनए का 90 to 95% डीएनए जो है वो नॉन फंक्शनल होता है, ठीक है. तो अगर जैसे इस तरह से एक डीएनए थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है, देन यू विल फाइंड दैट इसका इतना पोर्शन फंक्शनल है, इतना फिर नॉन फंक्शनल है, फिर इतना फंक्शनल है, दिस इज़ नॉन फंक्शनल. सो इफ़ यू विल सी द होल डीएनए इट इज़ नॉट कम्प्लीटली फंक्शनल, ठीक है. सो ओवर द डीएनए देयर आर सम कोडिंग एंड नॉन कोडिंग portions present. So the coding portions are called functional portions and they are called exons, ठीक है. तो जो डीएनए के कोडिंग पोर्शंस होते हैं जो कि फंक्शनल होते हैं, जो कि किसी जीन को या प्रोटीन को कोड करते हैं, सिंथेसाइज करते हैं, दे आर कॉल्ड एक्सॉन्स. एंड इन बिटवीन द एक्सॉन्स देयर आर सम नॉन फंक्शनल और नॉन कोडिंग रीजन्स प्रेजेंट विच आर कॉल्ड इंट्रॉन्स. क्लियर. सो ओवर द डीएनए मोस्ट ऑफ द पार्ट्स विच आर नॉन फंक्शनल और नॉन कोडिंग आर कॉल्ड इंट्रॉन्स, एंड द पार्ट्स विच आर फंक्शनल और कोडिंग आर कॉल्ड एक्सॉन्स. So here I have shown you the template strand of DNA. तो DNA की जो ये template strand है उसके ऊपर exon present है. The darker portion are actually introns. Exon, intron, exon, intron. तो जिस तरह से उसके ऊपर एक्सॉन और इंट्रॉन प्रेजेंट होते हैं डीएनए के ऊपर। तो जब ये ट्रांसक्रिप्शन से एमआरएनए सिंथेसाइज करता है, सो इट विल कोड ऑल द सीक्वेंसेस। तो जब ट्रांसक्रिप्शन होती है, एमआरएनए सिंथेसाइज होता है, उस टाइम पे वो एक्सॉन आ रहा है बीच में या इंट्रॉन आ रहा है, उसको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। आरएनए पॉलीमरेज अपना ट्रांसक्रिप्शन करता रहता है और पूरे के पूरे एमआरएनए प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट को सिंथेसाइज कर देता है। ठीक है, सो हियर आई हैव शोन यू प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट ऑफ एमआरएनए। ठीक है, now this mRNA I have shown the 5' and 3' end. So here it will transcribe the full strand of the DNA, template strand including exons as well as introns. तो जो darker portion है वो introns है और lighter portion क्या है, exons. Okay, तो यहाँ पे दोनों आ जाएंगे। After that the process of removal of introns will takes place, क्योंकि introns का कोई रोल ही नहीं है mRNA के अंदर। mRNA को क्या करना है, आगे प्रोटीन को सिंथेसाइज करना है, उसके लिए they require only exons, there is no use of introns in them. Okay, so they have to remove the introns from them and this is the nascent mRNA primary transcript। और इसके ऊपर 5' और 3' end के ऊपर अभी कुछ भी मॉडिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि if you will remind the structure of mRNA, they have a cap at the 5' end and poly A tail at the 3' end, जो हमने RNA के स्ट्रक्चर में स्टडी किया था। ओके, एंड mRNA हैज़ कम्प्लीटली कोडिंग सीक्वेंस, देयर इज नो इंट्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट इन बिटवीन द mRNA. ओके, सो हेयर यू कैन सी first before splicing the modifications at the 5' end and 3' end will takes place. Okay, so before that is why I have written here splicing and terminal addition. So आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो 5' end पे there will be a capping. Capping is actually formed by guanosin 7 methylated guanosin which has a methyl group at its 7th carbon. Okay, this is called 5' capping. So after 5' capping, this guanosin, a modified guanosin will be added to the 5' end and this will cause the modification at 5' end. Okay, after that at the 3' end there should be a poly A tail, then the adenine, more and more adenine will start attaching at the 3' end and they will form a poly A tail. Clear? So here I have shown you the mRNA with the 5' cap and 3' poly A tail, but still the introns are प्रेजेंट इन इट। अभी भी इसके अंदर इंट्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट हैं, क्योंकि पहले टर्मिनल एडिशन होता है, आफ्टर दैट द स्प्लाइसिंग विल टेक्स प्लेस। ठीक है, तो इज इट क्लियर नाउ? इन द प्राइमरी ट्रांसक्रिप्ट 5' कैपिंग विल टेक्स प्लेस, 3' poly A tail attachment will takes place, after that the removal of introns will takes place. Now we will see how the removal of introns or splicing actually takes place. So for the splicing you will see that this is the mRNA with the introns and exons, the lighter portion representing exon and the darker one representing intron. Okay, so at the 5' end they have the guanosin or 5' cap, at the 3' end they have poly A tail. Now for splicing, this is the site for splicing, because where the introns are present, obviously that will be the site for splicing. Now to remove these introns there are spliceosomes. Spliceosomes are actually like loop like structures. जैसे we have a thread like structure and in between that thread if we want to remove some portions we just have to pull it from that area. For that pulling we require loop like structures which are called spliceosomes. Okay, so these are the spliceosomes I have shown here. They will attach themselves to the intron portion and they will pull apart that introns. Now the introns have been removed completely and we will get the completely functional mRNA with the 5' cap, complete exons without intron and poly A tail. Okay, so this is the process of splicing and terminal additions. Both will take place to form the functional mRNA. First terminal addition and then splicing. Now let's see the third portion, third process of post-transcriptional process. Okay, so last step in post-transcriptional processing is nucleotide modification and terminal addition. So as we have discussed in the previous 3 steps, that was for the formation of functional RNA and functional mRNA. Now this is for the formation of functional tRNA. So do you remember the structure of tRNA? This was like that, and it requires some modifications like in the nucleotides. Like in case of uracil, they have pseudouracil type of nucleotide as well as dihydrouracil that is required for the formation of this type of structure by tRNA. That is why the nucleotide modifications is there only in tRNA. Otherwise, there will be addition of CCA segment to the 3' end of the tRNA, because here I have written nucleotide modification and terminal addition. So terminal addition play role in both mRNA modification as well as tRNA modification. तो यहाँ पे 3' end के ऊपर इसका CCA addition हो जाएगा, which is there in tRNA. सेकेंड वॉज मिथाइलेशन ऑफ C एंड G इन tRNA. तो इसके अंदर जो C और साइटोसिन और ग्वानोसिन ग्रुप होते हैं, दे हैव मिथाइल एट their 7th carbon, methyl group at their 7th carbon, so they will require that modification also. Otherwise they have dihydrouracil or pseudouracil present. Here I have shown the dihydrouracil and this is the pseudouracil present in the tRNA, which is there in the modification of tRNA while forming the functional tRNA. So this is all about the post transcriptional processing, and if the question comes like explain the process of transcription in eukaryotes, then you have to write till that process which we have discussed in the first video, that is the part 1. This is a separate question, comes like it can come like on splicing or any one of the step or the full post transcriptional process. After that we will discuss about transcription in prokaryotes and sometimes the comparison of transcription in eukaryotes and prokaryotes comes. Okay, this type of questions comes in your exams. So with this we are finished with the transcription process. After that we have one small topic, that is transcription in prokaryotes.
Eukaryotic cells must process the RNA product of transcription to form a mature translatable messenger RNA. The first step in RNA processing is capping, the addition of a special nucleotide to the 5' end. The second step is polyadenylation, the addition of a long tail of A's at the 3' end. A eukaryotic gene typically consists of both exons, regions that encode parts of the protein product, and introns, regions that are not represented in the product. The introns are transcribed along with the exons, but they are spliced out as the third step in eukaryotic RNA processing. Ribonucleoprotein assemblies called spliceosomes do the splicing. The result of 5' capping, 3' polyadenylation, and RNA splicing is an mRNA ready to be translated.
So as we have discussed about transcription in eukaryotes and post-transcriptional changes, now we will see transcription in prokaryotes. Otherwise the process is same as that of eukaryotes, that is there will be 3 steps, that is initiation, elongation and termination, but there are some few changes or differences which is there in the transcription in prokaryotes. So let's see the differences. So first point is that it takes place in cytoplasm completely, because in prokaryotes there is no well developed nucleus, so the full process will take place in the cytoplasm. Second point is the RNA polymerase. As we know, here also the RNA polymerase will be required for transcription, but the RNA polymerase which is found in prokaryotes is only of one type, because in eukaryotes there were different RNA polymerases which are required for forming different types of RNAs, the 3 types of RNAs which we have already discussed, but here only one RNA polymerase will form all the 3 types of RNAs, mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. Next is initiation factor will be same like that of eukaryotes, जैसे उसमें होता है initiation के लिए initiation factor होता है, RNA polymerase को activate करने के लिए, तो यहाँ पे भी initiation factor होता है which is called sigma. Okay, and termination factor is also there, which is also the same as that of eukaryotes, which is called rho factor, which will bring about termination of transcription. Next point is they produce polycistronic mRNA. As we have discussed in eukaryotes, in the post-transcriptional changes, when we found how mRNA is being formed, then you will see that there was the synthesis of monocistronic mRNA. You know the difference between That is monocystronic, which will synthesize only one polypeptide, whereas polycystronic, it will synthesize more than one polypeptide. So in case of prokaryotes, the polycystronic mRNA will be synthesized. Next point is splicing is generally not required. As we have discussed in eukaryotes, splicing process was there because to remove the non-functional parts from the mRNA, but here you will find that splicing process is generally not required because full mRNA is functional. There are no introns or exons kind of things, so that there will be no process of splicing required in case of prokaryotes. So from this you can also write the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Sometimes a question comes like this: write the differences between transcription in prokaryotes and transcription in eukaryotes. And these differences are also given in your elementary book when you will see the chapter. So you can directly write the differences from there, or you can make your own differences by comparing the two processes, that is in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Overall the other steps are completely same as that of eukaryotes, that is initiation, elongation, termination, जो भी enzymes वगैरह चाहिए होते हैं वो बाकी सब eukaryotes जैसा ही होगा इसमें. So with this we are finished with complete process of